G'day boys and girls, it's your boy, TSDS, and today we're going to take a look at 10 common beginner mistakes and how to avoid them. I am by no means an expert at FFXIV, but there are a lot of new players these days and I see a lot of them making these very simple mistakes. As a guide maker, I feel it's my responsibility to set things straight. Also, do note that I've ordered these mistakes from number 1 to number 10, so let's dive in. Mistake number 1. The first mistake I see a lot of players doing is launching the wrong game. Now, there are a lot of games out there, especially if you play on Steam, but a quick look at a community hub reveals that an awful lot of people have made this mistake. However, fortunately, this is an easy one to fix. If you swap to your desktop, the game you want is called FFXIV. You can also find it by this icon. Mistake number 2. The second mistake is moving too close to the edges of the screen. Generally, you'll want to try and keep in the middle area as often as possible. Monsters can come at you from any direction, and if you sway too far to one of the edges, you might get ambushed. This is something I see many new players doing wrong, so if you're dying a lot, this could be why. Mistake number 3. Playing a male character. Now, if you ask any guy who plays a female character as to why, you'll probably end up with a lot of different answers. Things like the animations being better, a greater variety of hairstyles, better looking outfits, or sometimes that if they're going to stare at an ass all day, it might as well be a nice one. Of course, all of these are incorrect. The real reason you should play a female character is because they're smaller, therefore harder to hit. This makes them superior in every type of content in the game except jumping puzzles. Mistake number 4. As a new player, you might have noticed a little plant next to your name. This is your sprout, and like all sprouts, it needs watering. Any drink will do, but in order to get the best type of water, you'll need to level a miner to at least level 21 and mine effervescent water from the upper paths in Southern Shroud. If you don't have a miner, you can purchase these from the market board, but if you're strapped for cash, look out for independent culinarians in most towns, as you can purchase things like orange juice for next to nothing, though it won't be as effective. In order to water your sprout, just find the drink in your inventory and use it. Your character will then sprinkle it over top of your head. If you do this around 2 to 3 times a day, then in 4 weeks your sprout will turn into a flower. After another 4 weeks, it will be ready for picking and you'll lose it completely, graduating from the novice network. From that point, you'll no longer be considered a new player. Mistake number 5. Related to mining, I see a lot of players who forget to battle train their gatherers. The best resources are obtained from the higher level areas, however, if you only focus on the gathering aspect, you can get caught out by these tougher monsters. As a gatherer, you'll either be using an axe or a pickaxe, and both can be very effective. Just make sure you spend a bit of time fighting anytime you're out obtaining resources, and you should be okay. Mistake number 6. The next mistake I see all of the time are players who forget to feed their retainers. A happy retainer is one that will bring you a lot of money, and as their employer, you're required to serve a basic lunch. The easiest way to do this is to hit up the culinarian again and purchase some meals. You could just buy bulk of the same meal, but if you provide a little variety, it gives your retainers a morale boost. Once you've got the food, just summon them back and select the Entrust or Withdraw Items option. Then just place the food in their inventory and they'll consume it over time. Just remember to check back now and then to keep them topped up. Mistake number 7. The next mistake I see commonly is players who forget to upgrade their gear or waste slots equipping useless items. As you quest, you'll obtain more and more gear. Generally, you want to focus on the higher numbers. However, be aware that some items exist just for story reasons. For example, this soul crystal doesn't actually come with any stats, so these sort of things can just be sold to a vendor, freeing up a slot to equip something else. Mistake number 8. Once you've played the game for a while, you'll be introduced to the Golden Saucer. One of the attractions here is the Jumbo Cactpop Lottery. Every week, a random number will be picked between 0 and 9,999. And every week, you'll have 3 chances of guessing what this number will be. Now then, the most efficient way to actually win this is to start at the bottom and keep increasing your numbers, i.e. your first 3 numbers should be 0001, 0002 and 0003. Every week increase this count and eventually you'll hit the chosen number. Either way, it's going to take a long time to win, but if you choose your numbers randomly, you've only a 1 in 10,000 chance of winning. Mistake number 9. The last 2 mistakes are about combat. If you look at your skills, you'll often see a stat called Recast. This is the time you must wait before being able to use the skill again. Any skill that has a recast of greater than 2.5 seconds is called a cooldown. These are strong attacks that you should save for important moments. As such, when you're in a dungeon, you should save these cooldowns for the bosses. All too commonly, I see players wasting these on trash monsters without realising that it's going to make the boss fights take that much longer. Mistake number 10. The last mistake is something that I see in practically every dungeon or trial. When you're fighting bosses, you'll occasionally get healing indicators on the ground. These typically look like large orange circles or lines. If you stand in these, you'll get healed, but for some reason I see so many players who just tunnel vision the boss and miss them completely. Some of the bosses in this game can be quite hard, so you should always remember to get the heals. And those are 10 common beginner mistakes I see players making in FFXIV. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two, and if you know any other players who might be struggling, then feel free to share the video and help them out. If you've seen any other beginner mistakes that I missed out, then leave a comment so that others might learn from them too. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.